Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the TV and Film Review podcast. I am your host, Stuart Scott. Alongside me today is our site's creator, David McGregor.
Hello.
So David, what do you think? Talk about what we've been watching this week, and I think you had some news about the new pilots.
Yeah, absolutely. I was hoping to do this with Liam. Unfortunately, Liam, the co-host, has got to his head, and he couldn't join us. Couldn't join us this week. But no, we do have a lot to talk about. I think it's good starting off with what we've been watching this week. I'm happy to go first if that's cool with you.
Yep, go for it.
The first thing I've been watching this week was I caught up on Banshee, and I watched the finale for that, which was Friday night in the States. And I don't know, did you watch any of Banshee?
I think I watched the pilot episode, and then I just never had time to. It didn't amaze me enough to drag me in. There was too many other things at the same time.
Yeah, it's a very solid show, I would say. It's never going to be a show that's consistently, in my top 10 or blow me away, but I think it's consistently all right, which for dramas these days sort of is good enough to make it into my my schedule. There's a place for it. I don't have anything else that's sort of like it.
Yeah.
Vikings perhaps, which I just started catching up with again. It's about 3 episodes into season 2. Vikings is a very similar show. They're very sort of action based. Plot lines and acting aren't great in these shows, but there's some sort of mindless violence, and there's something, I don't know, there's something quite great about just watching people kill each other, So, very similar kind of show. But yeah, Banshee, I was a bit disappointed with the finale this week. They sort of, what it was, most of the finale was filled up with backstory, which I wasn't really a fan on. I thought they should have put that in earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
They sort of, they're long and the short of it is, was a sort of big bad guy. I won't spoil it for anyone who's not seen it. They're a big bad guy who has sort of been terrorising them through season 2 and has always been in the background, and then the season finale they put in all this backstory and flashbacks about how it came to be, and I just thought it was a bit needless for a finale. I thought I should have put that in earlier. The other finale I watched this week, which we have to talk about, is True Detective. I know you're a fan.
Yep, I think everybody is these days, aren't they? It's one of these word of mouth shows that's just spread like mad.
Yeah, interestingly, I know Taylor reviewed it for our website. You can go and check out her review. It's not actually a very favourable review, and
Ooh,
I've seen a few actually like this. People who have thought the finale or the show in general. I think everyone is in agreement that the acting is sublime in this show.
Yeah.
But in terms of the storyline and the finale, I've seen a few mixed reviews. However, I know that we want to get into spoilers on this, so what we're going to do is we're going to touch on True Detective finale at the very end of the show. It'll be the last item we cover, so if you've not seen it, then you can turn off then. If that's okay with you, Stu?
Yep, that's fine. And I'll link Taylor's review into the link dump as well. And I'll actually do one this week.
Yeah, good. The only other things of note that I've been watching this week, I caught Glee. And do you know, I have no idea why I'm still watching this. It's just rubbish. Out of all the shows I've ditched from my schedule at the time, Glee should have gone countless times. I don't know why it's still there. It's do you know, this week was very Corin Monteith heavy. They got to I take it you're nowhere near up to date on Glee, are you?
Oh no, I've not watched it since like season 3 or something.
They got to the final singing competition again, regionals, sectionals, one of them.
Yeah, the usual.
Yeah, and obviously this is the first one without Corin Monteith, who of course played Finn. So the whole.
I had to get killed off.
Yeah.
So that was a bit too soon.
So it was all about it was more or less a tribute episode to Finn again, which I was, it was fine. I mean, the acting is just, it's beyond diabolical.
Yeah.
On this show now, there was a couple of interesting characters that they might have touched upon. I remember, was it last season where they got rid of a lot of the characters graduated, and they got rid of Mercedes.
A lot of
Quinn
the original ones, yeah.
Yeah, and all that. They brought in a whole bunch of new characters, and there was a couple of them. There's a girl who played a character called Marley. She looked as if she was going to be an interesting character in the first couple of episodes, but they barely touch on these. They don't give them any depth at all anymore. Mm-hmm. It's all focused on Lee Michelle's character, Rachel, and
she
Santana.
get held back a year, yeah.
Yeah, they're in New York with Kurt, and it's just
alright.
Most of the season just focuses on them, and they get so much of the storyline that none of the new characters get any plot development. I really think it's a show I'm gonna get rid of. I may as well see the season out.
Yeah.
For the last few episodes. And apart from that, the only other things I've been catching this week is my usual drop of sitcoms: Trophy Wife, Goldberg's Community. Mm-hmm. Do you know, I'll be really annoyed if Trophy Wife and Goldberg's don't get picked up.
I think did Liam not say last week that Goldberg's get picked up?
You could be right.
I think it was one of them, and I think it was.
Yeah, I don't think Trophy Wife has yet. If Goldberg has, that's great news.
I think they will probably. I mean, there's nothing really better on, is there? Unless they want to take a chance on something new.
I hope so. Out of the new sitcoms, I think they're the 2 or 3 of the best ones. And I say best in loosest terms. I think they're very. You'll remember me last year raving about The Neighbours.
Yeah.
The alien thing from ABC, which I thought was great last year. I've ditched it already this season.
Anything to do with Talks Oligandoye ditching us? No.
Yeah. Go on, tell the story then, Stu.
Talks used to be a friend of the site, I suppose you could say. Used to relay with us a lot on Twitter. I know Ross was a big fan of the show. Was it Ross that used to review it for us as well?
Yeah, there's got Ross and Louis, one of our previous reviewers from Costa Rica.
Oh, so it was, yeah. And yeah, she used to.
Do you know what? We gave that show a lot of good press.
Yeah,
loads. One of the few sites that were praising it to the hill every week.
Yeah, and we ended up.
I think we did one. I think Louis.
Louis had one bad review.
Yeah. And it wasn't even a bad review. It was the sort of it was this episode wasn't as good as the other ones. Yeah. And she just kicked off, didn't she?
Yeah, it was a bit
she had
of
this huge
backlash.
Twitter argument with him, and the poor guy. I mean, he was mortified, wasn't he?
I know, because he was really chuffed. He was obviously the biggest fan of everyone, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a bit upset from the very over the top reaction from her.
Yeah, and it's and it was such a shame because, as I say, I think we'd actually, did we not vote her for an award, lead actress, comedy?
Yeah, possibly actually.
I'm sure she picked up one of our end of season TV awards for best new actress in a comedy series or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good show.
So we'd done really well. So it was a shame that she came out with that reaction.
Yeah, and obviously it's not done any favours to their opinion, your opinion of them either. Do
you know what though? That's not even the reason I ditched it. I stayed with it right up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I wasn't feeling it for season 2. The humour had sort of worn off for me a bit.
Just the typical sophomore slump.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it gets renewed for season 3. If it does, then I might catch up in the summer when I've got time.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what I've been watching this week. What about you?
I'm the same with True Detective. Obviously, that was my milestone for the week. On that, my usual dramas, Justified, another great episode. This is an amazing season. It's amazing how strong it still is after, I think it's the 5th season maybe.
Yeah, you bang on about this every week. I've still never seen the show.
Oh, you need to watch it. It's on. Most of it's on Netflix. You just need to binge watch it next time you've got a day off.
Timothy Oliphant as a cowboy. Is that right?
Pretty much, yeah. Like a modern day cowboy.
Yeah. Is it very procedural?
Do you know what? It's not really. It's like the main story, and then there's a few wee procedural ones every couple of weeks. But because it's kind of spread between the heroes and the villains, it works quite well. It doesn't feel like a procedural.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Oh god, what's his name now? The guy from, I think he was in The Wire and Django as well. Guy with the big forehead, the mental hair.
Guy with the big forehead and mental
Oh God, I'm going to look him up. I'll cut all of this bit out, but
Michael K. Williams.
no, he's white.
Right. I was gonna say he was. I'm sure he was in Django and The Wire.
I don't think he was in Django, was he?
I'm sure he was.
He was definitely in The Wire.
No, he wasn't in Django. What's 12 Years a Slave? That's what I'm thinking of.
Ah, right, okay.
I knew it was a slave film.
Great actor, right enough.
Very good.
But no, he's not.
I love him in Boardwalk Empire.
Do
Do you know?
he's so good in
I used
Walton
to-
Goggins. That's what it is.
I used to think that scar on his head was, like a makeup from
A prop for
The
Boardwalk,
Wire.
is it?
Yeah,
Aye.
because when I first saw him, it was in The Wire. So
Aye,
I thought it was all until I looked and I thought, oh look, he's taking it with him to all the other all these other shows.
A wee throwback type thing
Yeah.
for The Wire. But yeah, Walton Goggins is the guy I was thinking of. He is superb. You remember he's the guy that tries to cut off Jamie Foxx's wee in Django.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like split down the middle really with Timothy Olyphant and Walton Goggins' characters. Obviously he's the bad guy and Oliphant's the good guy, but they kind of bleed into one another. It's really cool.
Do you know I like Timothy Olyphant? I think he's good in pretty much everything I've seen him in. I remember first seeing him in. Do you ever see a film Girl Next Door
Yes.
with Emile Hirsch?
Yep. And do you know, I didn't even realise it was him that played.
Oh, did you not?
Is it a boyfriend or something? Like
Yeah,
a manager or something. Like that?
Is it Alicia Cuthbert?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a really good film actually.
Do you know it's very funny. I remember the first time I watched it and I thought it was hilarious. I love the kid. I can't remember his name or the actor. Yeah, you know the guy who does he's the boy who does the film work, and he shouts out all the time. He's the real cheeky one out of the three of them.
I think I know what you mean. I can't think who it is though.
Oh, is Paul Dano in that? Paul
Paul
Dano.
Dano.
Is he not in that as well? Is he not the third one?
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that again. That's pretty cool.
It's very good.
Sorry, I digress.
So yeah, Justified and House of Lies, that's come back recently. Not House of Cards, we always get confused with those two. House of Lies with Kristen Bell and I'm totally blanking.
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle, yeah, that's the one.
Cheadle.
Yeah, Kristen Bell and Kristen Bell and Don Cheadle.
This will require a lot.
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of Kristen Bell, this will be an excellent time to plug our website. If you go on our website, tvandfilmreview.com, we're currently running a poll to find out the most beautiful women on US TV currently. Kirsten Bell is one of the options. We have 100 women to choose from, so make sure you go on our website, and we've got 100 women split into 20 groups. It's a first round of voting. The voting for the first round closes on Sunday. Just opened it today. We've had loads of votes already, so make sure you go on and vote for your favourite.
Yep. I was going to bring it up later on, but yeah good segue.
Yeah.
And yeah, House of Lies has been okay. You watched the first season, didn't you?
I did. I gave up after I think I started watching season 2. I mean, it was okay. I thought the show was fine. I got to the point where I had too much shows in my schedule and I had to make cuts.
Fair enough.
It was one of them.
At that time, it probably would have been cuttable. It was a slow start to this season, but it's gotten a lot better, and it's taking out all the procedural stuff as well. It's just the one group of guys that they're sticking with.
Oh, is it that interests me more then?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a kind of internal conflict they're dealing with. It's although I don't like how they're bringing back, as much as I love the other two guys who were in the group.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel really bad for forgetting his name now as well. Ben something, who plays Clyde in it, because he always retweets us when we give him a shout. I think does he follow the site? He might do on Twitter.
He's going to be pissed.
Yeah, I'll edit it back in once I actually know his name. But yeah, I don't like how they've kind of merged them back into the group. I liked it better when they were all kind of split up and doing their own thing, and it was not quite a conflict, but
Oh, did they split them up in season 2?
yeah, that's what kind of happened at the end of it. I think it's almost a year old now, so it's well out of spoiler territory. But yeah, they kind of split off from the main company and all went to different companies.
Yeah.
Now they're all back together.
Kirsten Bell went off to do some private investigating.
Yeah.
Veronica Mars, you've not seen it yet, have you?
I've not seen the movie yet, but love the TV series. I think, did we speak about this last week? I think we did. In the March movie roundup. But what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was fine. For anyone listening, I haven't seen any Veronica Mars TV show. Yeah, I know. My wife loves it. She's been binge watched the thing a few times now, so she's a big fan. So she wanted to watch it, so I watched it with her. And I thought the film was fine, but there was clearly loads and loads and loads of
like little throwbacks and nods to the show.
She was giggling away throughout to lots of little things like this isn't a spoiler as such, but there's I think near the start there's a guy busking on the street, and the song that he's singing is the theme tune.
The theme tune. That's well good.
So obviously, like anyone who watches it, the TV show would have picked it up, but of course I didn't. And lots of little things like that. You'll spot hundreds of them. So I thought it was fine. Not really any thoughts one way or another, but I suspect a fan will love it.
Yeah, more focused on fan service.
Yeah,
I suppose that's what it was, because it was a fan-funded project as well. So
yeah,
I suppose that's what
checking
it was.
out if you're a fan, I think.
Yeah, I'm buzzing to see that. I'll try and get it done this week.
Oh, make sure you stay. By the way, there's a lot of stuff in the end credits.
Oh, nice. Because they've done that with the season 3 DVD as well. They have put like a wee extra bit in at the end, like a prospective 4th season, but obviously it never get picked up.
Yeah.
So House of Lies, Suits was back last week, I think it was. Do you watch Suits?
That's a show I watched the first 2. Is this back for season 4?
I think this is season 4. Yeah, season 4 or season 5.
Yeah, I think I watched the first 2 seasons. I've got a feeling I cut that at the same time as House of Lies.
Poor decision. Suits is great.
Really?
Yeah, season 3 this is. Because it was cut off halfway through, that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe I watched half a season then, half a season 2 or something. Another good plug for the Most Beautiful Women on USTV.
Meghan Markle and Sarah Rafferty.
Both in the poll. Yep. If you like them, get voting.
Yeah. Make sure you do give them a vote as well, because they're in tough groups.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. We can keep doing this throughout this episode. Every time we touch on the show.
Yeah, so we're going to have it quite a bit then.
Yeah.
Suits, Archer. Talk about that every week as well, along with Justified. I
saw Archer. I've never seen an episode of Archer, and I was looking on my Netflix for new things to add to my list. And I hear you go on and on about it every week. So I had a look, and do you know what? I was just kind of put off by the sort of, I don't know, maybe the sort of the way the animation looked.
Do you know a lot of people have said that? Liam said that as well, and a couple of my friends have said it.
I didn't even get to the stage about watching an episode. I just looked at whatever the sort of artwork
it's very
and stuff, and I thought
pop art style, isn't it?
Yeah, and I thought, I'm not gonna like this, so I didn't add it.
You do get used to it, but I've actually started putting it on the background and things like that, or when I'm doing editing and things like that, just have it on at the same time. Obviously not at the same time as I'm editing, but
yeah, I've been doing that with Previous Warriors.
Oh, did you start watching it?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the show you were going to touch on.
Yeah, that was the next one on the list.
Yeah, I started watching it. I'm only 5 or 6 episodes into it, and I think it's good. I don't think it's as good as Adventure Time.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I prefer Adventure Time.
See, I think it's a lot funnier than Adventure Time is. I think it's more relatable than Adventure Time. Adventure Time's funny because it's just silly and easy to watch. But Bravest Warriors is actually good comedy. It's really well written.
Warriors is so random.
It is, it's crazy. 5 or 6 episodes. You haven't seen Catbug yet then, have you?
No, I think the next episode I'm watching is Gas Powered Stick or something.
That's the first one that Catbug's in. So,
and
that was what the Loot Crate was for last month as well.
That's
We
right.
shout out to Loot Crate. No sponsorship or anything. But if you want to, I mean, if you're listening to this and fancy giving us some money, we'll give you a shout out every week.
So I do like Previous Warriors. I'm going to continue watching them all. It's it's perfectly fine. I'm not too big into my animation and my animated shows. We're going to be touching on that on next week's podcast, by the way. Is that right, Stu? Cartoons and animated shows and things like that.
But yeah, nice wee nostalgia trip for next week. But yeah, Bravest Warriors, I really like it. It's obviously the same guys that do Adventure Time, Pendleton Ward, and I forget the other guy's name. But yeah, it's same kind of animation style and all that as well.
Do you know, I've never taken drugs in my life, and I do not endorse them at all. But I suspect it's how I imagine someone like tripping out would really enjoy that show.
Yeah,
It's just so random.
I'm good about it. It's even better with a drink. It's
Is
very,
it?
very good with a drink.
I just imagine like wasted people like laughing like their heads off the whole way through it.
Yeah, it's a bit weird at the start, but it gets really, really funny. If you keep watching it, I think you'll like it better than Adventure
And I'm
Time.
right thinking it is only a web series, isn't it? It's not on TV at all.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube, I think. YouTube and their site.
Yeah,
Cartoon
but
Hangover.
it's not on TV in the States or over here.
No,
is it?
no, it's purely web series. I think it might have been a Kickstarter as well, actually.
Oh really? I suspect it'll be picked up soon. They'll win it by someone.
I don't know, because the episodes are only like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if they could stretch it out to 10. Because
Yeah,
they work in the wee kind of bite-sized chunks. And I mean, I just binge-watched it all in 2 days, I think. Just when I had a day off last week. In fact, that was my recovery from Newcastle, which we'll be talking about later on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my recovery period, was watching that the next couple of days. But yeah, it's good. It's very light-hearted, and it's a bit more kind of teenagey than kiddie compared to what Adventure Time is, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's me. I think that's all I've been watching this week. Apart from all the other usual stuff that they talk about every week. Not like I didn't bring any of them up.
Yeah. Archer again. Just Justified again.
True Detective.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure you stay on the podcast for all our listeners to the end of the show, where we will be touching on the True Detective finale and going into a lot of spoilers.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to talk about the pilots next?
Yeah, well, I'll just touch on a few of the main ones. There's pilot season is well and truly underway. There's been a lot of castings going on, a lot of renewals, all that sort of thing. I know Liam was going to be touching on some of it. I will try and cover off some of the things I think he was going to touch on. CBS have been very busy lately. I don't know if you've seen what they've renewed. Pretty much everything.
I don't even know what's on CBS anymore, to be honest with you.
They gave Big Bang Theory another 3 seasons.
Oh, I seen that one. Yeah, that was mental.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to maybe cut loose after next season. Although it's a killer in the ratings, but it's really went downhill. I've stopped watching that altogether.
Yeah, and I mean they've renewed pretty much all of their procedural stuff. NCIS, NCIS, LE,
Just looking at a news story on it, and
yeah,
I see
person of interest. Yeah, CSI, Blue Bloods, Criminal Minds, a whole lot of them. There's a couple of ones I was slightly surprised on. The Millers. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, that was another one. I watched the first episode. I think it was Robbie that said to watch it. Yeah,
it's one I've been I have been watching every week, and it's okay. Some episodes are really awful, but then they have other ones that are really kind of catchy, really funny. And it, I was a bit hit or miss with it. I wouldn't have missed it if it got cancelled. And the other one is Mom with Anna Faris. I know I've touched on that a couple of times. I quite like that.
It's a bit hit or miss, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very. As I said before, I really don't like Anna Faris. If you don't like Anna Faris, it's a good chance you're not going to like this. But some of the other characters are good. There's a lot of problems with it, and I was quite surprised that it actually got renewed. But but pleasantly so. I think it could go somewhere. There's no word on the Crazy Ones with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Robin Williams.
Yeah, I don't think that's been doing very well in the ratings either, has it?
I don't think so.
I know Liam's the man to ask, but
yeah, it's not really surprising either. It wasn't very good.
Nah, I never bothered picking it up.
And no word yet on The Mentalist. I know that's. I know it's not been doing very well in the ratings, but I know it's got quite a big following. It's been going on for a few seasons now.
Yeah, I think it's been quite consistent in its ratings anyway. And that must have been its 9th season, 10th season maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
And obviously, they do have a few voids to fill with How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
which obviously comes to an end soon. Which actually, do you know, that links in quite nicely with one of my pilot castings. They
I think
have
we're going to bring up the top 50 again.
Oh, that's a good point. Good point. How I Met Your Mother. Kobe Smulders and the mother character, Kristen Milotti, I want to say.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah, Kristen Milotti.
Both in our poll. Make sure you vote for them.
Yeah.
Yes. How I Met Your Dad, the CBS sitcom that's coming up. Did you know about this one?
Yeah, I heard about it, and do you know what? I'm going to watch it.
Do you know what? I think most people will. Assuming it gets picked up for the full series. It hasn't been yet. It's only to a pilot.
I mean, it sounds like a terrible idea, spinning off How I Met Your Mother into something that sounds almost the exact same. But if I remember rightly, it was a good lead actress they had for it. Yeah,
they've got Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, she was very good. I don't know if you saw the film Frances Ha.
Yes.
She was very good in that last year. The rest of the main cast, it's they've got a guy, Nick D'Agosto, who's in Masters of Sex. I don't know if you've watched that.
Yep, I have. Oh, I've watched some of it. Who is he in that?
He plays the young doctor, the apprentice of Michael Sheen. So that's the character. He's in it. We've got Andrew Santino, who's currently in Mixology. He's not really been in too much more. A guy called Drew Tarver, who's literally been in not very much. Do you remember a sitcom a couple of years back, Animal Practice?
The one with Tyler Labine in it?
Canned after like 2 episodes. Yeah, he was in that.
I think that was one of our first reviews, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. I know Ross was a huge fan.
Yeah.
he was gutted when Animal Practice got cancelled. I remember a monkey in it. Was there a monkey?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
It done a kissy face, didn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Was that the same monkey that's in Community? I'm sure it was.
Maybe,
actually.
Yeah. No, was that not a capuchin monkey? I don't think it was a capuchin that was in that.
Oh, really? I don't know. I know there is one monkey that gets used quite a lot in a lot of the sitcoms, and
yeah, you might be right. Actually, you might be right.
Whenever they need a monkey, there's a monkey in Friends. Remember? Maybe it's the same one.
No, it's definitely not the same one as Friends, because I think that was similar to the one that was in Community, was it not?
Oh, I don't know.
And then it was a different one that was in Animal Practice.
I like Marcel. He was a good monkey.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene in Friends where they all sing "The Lion Sleeps Tonight"?
Yeah.
It's a great scene, that.
Welcome to the Monkey Cast, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
The subtitle for this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy from Animal Practice.
Yes, and to complete the lineup for How I Met Your Dad, Krista Rodriguez, who was recently in Smash Season 2. She's done a few Broadway stuff as well.
Alright.
So that's your lineup for How I Met Your Dad. It's quite uninspiring at the moment, but then I suppose when How I Met Your Mother, when that cast was first announced...
Who'd you heard of there?
Alison
Hannigan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose Neil Patrick Harris.
See, I hadn't heard of him before that. I obviously was like a big child star and everything.
Yeah, Doogie Howser, wasn't he?
I'd never heard of him until How I Met Your Mother, and that's what kind of launched him.
I mean, they're gonna have a huge fan base to tap into.
Yeah.
For this show, but, if it's rubbish, they're gonna get so much hate. But they're focusing on a complete new group of friends. They're staying quite.
It's kind of like a reboot, isn't it, for it?
Yeah, I was worried that they were gonna have the mum character in the How I Met Your Mother and
just do it backwards. See, I wouldn't have watched that.
No, I wouldn't have either.
But no, I'm willing to give it a chance. Might end up being quite good.
Yeah.
It's all the same writers and all that, isn't it? So.
Yes, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Right, what else have we got? I'll just touch on a couple more. We've got one. This is an exciting one from HBO. It doesn't have a name yet. It's a rock and roll drama that's coming.
Alright.
It's sort of like a 70s rock and roll drama,
right.
Focusing on the sort of drugs and sex.
Right, I've got the vision in my head. It's Vinny Chase, and he's playing Joey Ramone.
No. No, but you know what? Right, do you know what I mean? So, even if it just told me, a rock and roll drama, the 70s, HBO is enough to sort of get me hooked anyway.
Yeah.
HBO, pretty reliable. And then Scorsese's directing the pilot.
Oh, nice.
Along with Terence Winter. I think Mick Jagger's involved as well, actually. A bit of authenticity in there.
Yeah, maybe just like a bit of kind of creative influence.
Yeah. And the cast is looking okay as well for this. We've got Olivia Wilde's in it. She's good. Juno Temple. We've got Bobby Cannavale, who was Chip
Oh yeah,
Rossetti.
I like Bobby Cannavale,
Chip
yeah.
Rossetti in Boardwalk. We've got Jack Quaid, who's Dennis Quaid's boy. He was in the Hunger Games,
right,
as well. Max Cassell as well, who's in Sopranos and Blue Jasmine, a few other stuff. So it's a pretty decent standard of cast. Happy Scorsese's involved, at least for the pilot, and it's HBO, so I'm sure it'll do well.
Yeah,
that's been picked up to series, I believe.
I'm guessing Mark Wahlberg's involved in the
he'll be
production
there
or
somewhere.
something. Yeah,
he'll be there somewhere. Yeah,
he's in everything nowadays, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you remember a while ago on the last podcast I was on? So I've not been on one for a while. And I was talking about these new shows, and there was a show called Selfie.
Yeah.
They've cast their lead characters.
And anyone I would know?
Both of them, I think, a male and a female lead.
Right.
And I was quite surprised because I can't see how they would fit into this, right? So the lead male is John Cho.
All right.
From
everything.
Star Trek, Harold and Kumar. He's been in loads.
Go on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Never forget.
So I can't really. I mean, I know he's a comedy actor, so I can get how he fits into the sitcom, but I'm not really sure.
I don't know if he's that kind of...
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I suppose it might be like an ironic view of it, but even then...
Yeah, and he plays opposite Karen Gillan, who was, of course, in Doctor Who.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So, it's a strange pairing for that, I think.
Do you know what? I'm going to watch that now. I'll watch anything with Karen Gillan in it.
But then you love a selfie, don't you?
I do. I'm not even going to lie. You can check out my profile picture on Twitter just for a bit of proof.
Do you know, I know we're going to touch on Comic Con later, but we're at Newcastle Comic Con here in the UK last weekend, and the amount of the selfies I saw Stu taking was unbelievable.
It wasn't that many, was it?
Yeah. There we go. Selfies and monkeys.
Yeah. Selfie Cast 2014.
Yeah. Oh, here's a nice little link. You were talking about Go On.
Yeah.
Who John Cho also starred with Matthew Perry.
Oh, has Matthew Perry got another one?
He's
NBC?
got another one. CBS.
Ah.
It's called Odd Couple. It's basically Matthew Perry and Thomas Lennon, who's he's done a lot of bit part roles, New Girl and How I Met Your Mother and things like that. Basically, the story is those two are flatmates and they're polar opposites, really. Nothing new there. Wendell Pierce, who was Bunk in The Wire.
I haven't watched enough of The Wire to know.
Yeah, he's in that as well. I like Matthew Perry. I thought Go On was okay. I wouldn't have judged, be judged at a second season. I thought it had enough going for it.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit hard to cut.
Yeah, but I'm always interested to see a Matthew Perry sitcom.
See, to be fair, I watch all the Matthew Perry sitcoms that come on, and I don't know. I must be like the only person that watches them because they always get canned.
The final one I wanted to touch on, it's a sitcom from CBS. It's nothing special. It's called Scorpion. I only wanted to touch on it because Eddie K. Thomas, who was Finch in American Pie.
Oh, right.
Really like him as a comedy actor. So glad he's back on a sitcom on primetime. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I know he was in one of the shows that you watched.
Yep, How to Make It in America.
That's right.
I was just going to drop a wee shout out in there. Never forget.
I keep meaning to catch that.
It's actually very good. I don't know why that got cancelled. That was excellent.
Yeah, but no, I'm a big fan of Eddie K. Thomas. I think he's underrated as a comedy actor. So
yeah,
happy to see him back.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of work these days, does he?
Not really. A lot of straight to DVD stuff.
Maybe this will be his second breakout, his second wind.
Doubtful. The sitcom itself looks awful.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, with a name like Scorpion, and yeah,
true.
Although they could do like a transplant of the Simpsons plotline with Hank Scorpion. That was good, wasn't it? That was Scorpio. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know what they could do. Scorpion King. That was a film, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, The Rock.
Yeah, it could be a take on that.
Yeah, Eddie K. Thomas and The Rock and Dwayne Johnson, whatever, and a sitcom. I'd watch that.
Yeah, that'd be quite funny actually. Mm-hmm. Do you know what? I think The Rock is quite underrated as a comedy actor. Have you seen?
He's a very good actor.
Yeah, you ever seen Welcome to the Jungle? He's not a very good actor.
He is a very good actor.
No, he's not.
He does a lot of crap, but he is a very good actor.
No, I don't think The Rock. I wouldn't go as far as to say he was a very good actor. I think he's an okay actor, and I think he's underrated as a comedy actor.
I don't know. Saying that he was the best part about Pain and Gain, so maybe. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah. Welcome to the Jungle. I like that.
See, I didn't. I hated Welcome to the
Oh,
Jungle.
really?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit rubbish.
But that's all I have on the pilot season.
Just bringing up The Rock last wee bit. Was he not cast in an HBO pilot for this year?
It was one called Ballers.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an HBO show, and I think it's going down the dramedy route, along the same kind of lines as Entourage. I think it was all sorts of sports people in Miami. It's been picked up to series as well, so it's definitely coming. No further news on that though.
No, fair enough. I mean, if HBO have picked up their series, then they must be pretty confident. They don't really do that very often, do they?
Yeah, exactly.
Not this early, anyway. But yeah, hopefully that'll be good.
Yep, look forward to it.
So, what do you think next? Star Wars or Comic Con?
Go Comic Con.
Okay. So we mentioned it a few times there. We were down in Newcastle last weekend for the Newcastle Film and Comic Con. Shout out to Showmasters who run the event. Big fans of theirs, and that was the second event that we've been to. But yeah, it was really good fun, and we got to see a lot of crazy stuff, and hopefully attract a few more visitors to the site. Any stories you want to share with the fans?
Yeah, I mean, it was, as you're saying, it was a very good event. It was quite busy. We're trialing a lot of new stuff for the website, and we've previously got an online shop which you can check out by going to the website. I'm sure Stuart will
link dump in the bottom.
Absolutely.
We finger pointing down.
Yeah.
I'm making gestures at my TV. I don't know why you can't see it.
Yeah, so we've taken the online shop and we brought that into the event itself. So we're trying a few new things. It was quite busy. I know Alan got a review with
oh yeah, John Rhys Davies,
which will be on the site very soon. So,
yeah, that should probably be up before the podcast is. So
yeah, so I know he was chuffed with that. He got a very good interview with him. Apart from that, I thought it was a good show. It's the first one they've done in Newcastle. I think they'll be back. It was very busy. There's certainly an audience for it.
Yeah, as long as they don't get left outside.
Yeah, lots of problems with the queuing system on Saturday. I read a bit about that online. Showmasters have their own forums for all their own fans, and I had a look at that. There was some not very happy people.
Yeah, I can imagine. That was a shame because that was a bit of a dampener on it, but other than that, it was really good.
Yeah, and you can probably see us next. We're definitely going to be going to London Film at Comic Con, which is in July.
Yay!
And there's do you know what? By the way, there's some very good people announced for that one so far.
Already, yeah.
Stan Lee.
Oh, nice.
Which is there's going to be so many people there just for him alone.
Yeah, that was huge.
Massive. Stan Lee's going to be there. There's Summer Glau.
Oh, big Summer Glau fan from Terminator Sarah Chronicles.
Yeah, Firefly.
Surprised I managed to get that off first time.
Absolutely. Yeah, so a lot of Joss Whedon fans will be there to see her as well.
That's awesome.
And there's do you know how I'm looking forward to seeing Lita, the wrestler?
All right.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, she used to be super hot.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know if she still is. I've not seen her a long time.
No, I've not watched the wrestling in ages.
I know Stuart's a big fan.
Yeah.
We'll see, but there's a lot of good people announced already.
Yeah, I mean, even the Newcastle one, it was pretty decent. Obviously, John Rhys Davies, a fairly prominent star from Lord of the Rings, and all the usual guys as well, who I imagine will be there, like Darth Vader and
Kenny Baker and David Prowse. They're at pretty much every event. But you know what? At their age, why would you want to do any more than sign?
That's the retirement plan, isn't it?
Sign stuff for money. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, I'm not judging. It's a big gig. I'd take it if I was offered it.
So make sure you check out our Facebook page. There's a lot of photos from Comic Con that Stuart took, and we'll be making announcements very soon with the other events we're going to. We'll definitely be in London. There's probably going to be a couple more this year. We will keep you informed.
Yeah. Just mentioning David Prowse as well. I want to give a wee shout out because was it Rob and I were walking past and totally didn't notice him walking past right past our table.
You nearly knocked him off his crutches.
Yeah, apologies if I offended anybody. And I actually done the same with John Rhys Davies in the morning. I didn't realise until I seen Alan's picture. Walked past, I was expecting a wee toty guy.
It's not exactly the two best people you want to piss off, is it? Darth Vader and
Gimli, yeah.
Gimli, yeah.
Nah, we a lightsaber and an axe in my head. next time I see them.
Yeah. Do you know what? Very good link. Because we're going to be talking Star Wars.
Actually, do you know? I only just thought of it there. You want to talk about the casting, the Star Wars, or some of the casting rumours, anyway.
Absolutely, yeah.
Am I right in saying that is it Michael B. Jordan has been cast in it, or was that something else?
No, you're right in the name. He's been linked with one of the roles.
Oh right, I thought he was confirmed for it. I thought he came out and said that he was doing it.
Unless that's happened in the last few hours, then no. So to be honest, no cast has been confirmed yet.
Oh, that's
in terms of, it depends how far you want to go, right? You have, for instance, Adam Driver, who is you'll know from Girls. I don't know if you've ever watched that.
I don't know. I've got it. I'm waiting for my friend to watch it with.
See if you Google him, he just looks like a Sith Lord.
Right, I'm going to do it right now.
Do it. Adam Driver, he just looks creepy and evil.
Something along the same lines as Ray Park. Oh yeah, I know the guy. Yeah.
To me, he just looks like a Sith.
He would be awesome as the bad guy.
Yeah. So he's okay. Now, none of this is official. None of it came from Star Wars, right? But he's been cast as Sith Lord. Pretty much, Lena Dunham, who's obviously his co-star in Girls.
Yep.
You know, has even tweeted out saying, "Oh, congrats to him on his Star Wars role and stuff."
Oh.
You know, so it's pretty much confirmed, that one. Although Disney haven't come out and said it. So he's gonna be a Sith Lord. In terms of the lead male, by the way, I'll put a note in here that we don't actually know what the storyline's going to be yet. We're assuming it's based on...
Yeah, judging from the open casting calls...
Han and Leia's children.
Yeah,
or Luke's children.
From it.
Yeah. So the lead male, by all accounts, it's between Jesse Plemons, who you will know as Todd from Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Friday Night Lights as well, who is touted to play Luke Skywalker's son. And it's going to be him or Ed Spalers, who's in Downton Abbey.
Oh,
I know you're not a fan of that.
Downton Abbey fan. Yeah.
They look exactly the same.
Right, okay.
When you look at the two actors, it's pretty much the same.
Like a shaved polar bear.
Yeah, pretty much. So it depends. You know, they'll go one way or another on that. But yeah, you're right. Michael B. Jordan has also been looked at, and that actually takes me nicely on, because one of the things that J.J. Abrams just came out and said is that he's looking to diversify the cast a bit more.
Alright.
I.e., not Lando and Mace Windu being the only two black guys in the galaxy. You know, he was saying, you know, there's no Asians, there's no Latinos, there's no...
Yeah, that's true, actually.
You know, it's fine if he wants to do that. I don't think that's how you should cast them. I think
I'm just hoping that it's not done for the sake of doing that.
Yeah, I think you should have your character in mind and then cast who fits that best, you know, regardless of race. Yeah, so that's one of the roles Michael B. Jordan's been touted for. The other one as well, the lead female character, Lupita Nyong'o, 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, yeah.
That's quite heavily rumoured from a lot of sources.
And it's almost certainly not a Han and Leia's children then.
yeah. Do you know? I read somewhere else that it was rumoured that she might be one of Obi-Wan Kenobi's long lost relatives.
Right.
Or something. I don't know how they can work that out. Yeah. But you know, that'd be a pretty strong cast member if she got it. You know, on the back of her Oscar.
That's true, yeah.
So I'd be quite happy with that. And do you know what? She's like 30 years old. But she could still pass for to be like a sort of 18-year-old.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought she was as old as 30.
Yeah. There's a lot of other rumours flying about in terms of casting for this. Another one for Han and Leia's daughter, Lily Collins.
Oh, I'd like to see that. She's very good.
Yeah, she was in Mortal Instruments, Phil Collins' daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's ready for a part. That's you know, a lot of these ones they've confirmed that they've had an audition, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Saoirse Ronan as well. She's confirmed that she's ready for the part.
Yeah.
So
I know Alan likes her, but I'm not a big fan of Saoirse Ronan.
There's a lot of rumours. What is confirmed is that the first photography for the film starts in May, so very soon. Filming is all happening in London.
I was going to say, yeah, it's all most of it's in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah, they're planning on doing the majority of it in 6 months this summer. Carrie Fisher has already, been tweeting out that she's moving to the UK for 6 months for filming of it and that kind of thing. So, The first photography in May, and then 6 months of filming. So I suspect then we're going to get everything confirmed, pretty much.
Yeah, no doubt photos leaked and things like that.
Yeah, it's going to be. Do you know what? There's so much press around this film that there's just going to. I'm worried that all the details are going to be leaked before the film's even out.
Oh, that'd be awful, wouldn't it? Just like
Yeah.
a script leak or something.
But yeah, so I just wanted to touch on those kind of things. Other Star Wars news as well. Star Wars Rebels, which is a TV show. Do you know what? It'll be the first taste that Star Wars fans will get of Star Wars post Lucas.
Ah, yeah, the kind of the Disney era Star Wars.
Yeah, so that starts this fall on the Disney Channel. It's an animated computer graphics type thing.
Yeah.
Star Wars Rebels. Do you know what? It looks quite good. I've not seen there's not been a full trailer release for it. But a lot of screenshots, a lot of kind of storyline stuff about it, and it seems to be, it looks like it's got some promise. It's going to be a bit darker. There's going to be no politics side of things. Chancellors and
Oh yeah, none of the episode 1 shit.
Yeah, none of that. It's going to be set between episodes 3 and 4. All new characters as well. I suspect there'll be tie-ins with some of the main ones, but I'm quite looking forward to seeing that actually, and quite looking forward to seeing how Disney handle it.
Yeah. See, I don't know how I feel about that because I didn't like Clone Wars. I didn't like the animation of it. I prefer the live action stuff for it.
It is different animation for this. I'm not into my animation enough to know how to describe the two different styles of cartoon.
Aye.
If you look it up online, there's a lot of artwork from Star Wars Rebels.
Aye, I'm sure I'll be able to grab a YouTube video or something featuring that.
Yeah. But that's what I had for Star Wars news. I just wanted to touch on that because it's starting soon and there's been a lot of news, and I suspect over the next coming weeks we're going to get a lot of people confirmed. Do you know what, actually? On the note of that, my boss at my work, I do have a day job. I know, don't tell anyone. His daughter actually got quite far in the auditioning process for this.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I thought that was just like a token gesture sort of thing.
No, she he was telling me she auditioned. Apparently she got right through a few different rounds of it.
Oh wow.
So that she was down to the last, I don't know, however many, 100 or so in the UK.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, which I thought was quite cool. So I was I was keeping her aside in case she got the role and I'd get her on the show for an interview.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming she didn't get it.
I'll tell you what, just touching on the casting, who would you like to see cast in it?
Tough one. I'd quite like to see unknowns, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind a couple of familiar faces. Although in saying that, we're already getting that with the return of Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing a couple of familiar faces, but in all the sort of leading roles, certainly in all the children, I wouldn't mind seeing a completely fresh cast.
See, I'm quite on board with the Jesse Plemons thing. That's Jesse Plemons, isn't it?
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah. From Breaking Bad.
Do you know, I can't see how he'd be a Jedi. I just see him as a bad guy.
Do you know what? See, if you've seen him as Landry in Friday Night Lights, you can kind of combine that with Todd from Breaking Bad, and you can see something there.
Quite a simple guy, isn't he?
Do you know? I don't know, because there's bits of Todd where it's like he looks very, very docile, but then you see him as Todd and he does like the whole kind of creepy, sinister thing.
Do you know, the one thing I will say is I could see him as passing for Luke Skywalker's son.
Yeah, a lot of people said that when that rumour first came out. And yeah, I guess I can see that. I don't know. I think he'd be quite a cool cast. Michael B. Jordan as well. He's a great actor. Very, very underrated. He's not really had that big break yet. But
that's right. Well, I think he got a lot of critical acclaim for Fruitvale Station. I don't know if you saw that.
I haven't seen that. No.
No, that it's a pretty good film actually, and I don't think it was up for any Oscars. I know it was touted for a lot beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he was pretty good in that. And I did see him in something else recently. Can't remember what it was, but I think he's okay. I think his time will come.
Yeah, I've got a feeling if the cast rumours are true, then
I don't think Star Wars will be it.
You don't think so?
Obviously, if he's cast, that probably will be his, thing that launches him.
Well, do you think he'll get a breakout before that?
Yeah.
Maybe like next winter's pilot, maybe?
Possibly. For some reason, I can't see anyone coming out of the Star Wars films with, oh wow, his performance and that was
Yeah, I get what
sublime.
you mean. It's not
It's
that
not
kind of
that.
movie.
Yeah, it's not that kind of film where people are going to come out with all these sort of acting awards from it. So it, it might propel them into the limelight.
At least
but,
get them bigger roles. Get them
yeah,
considered.
yeah. You're right.
That. I mean, look what it done for Harrison Ford. That was his kind of first major one, wasn't it?
That's right. I was trying to think there in my head where was Indiana Jones not before that?
No, I don't think so. I think Indiana Jones was maybe in between episode 5 and 6. Really? The first one, because the last one was in the late 80s, I think. No,
I think you will be right. For some reason, I had 77 in my head. But that's Star Wars, wasn't it? That was A New Hope.
That's not the most boring bit of the podcast. We'll skip over this, make this get a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was Star Wars that kind of launched Harrison Ford's career.
Yeah.
I don't recall him doing anything before that. Not anything that I've seen anyway.
What's he done recently?
Not a lot. I was going to say he was in that Vegas show, but that was the other guy. No,
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid. Yeah.
Do you know they do look alike though, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Well, especially now that they're older. I don't even know who. Like, I like to see kind of TV stars getting a wee shot in a movie and then maybe getting a chance to break out. I mean, there's guys in Suits who could like jump into a major film role and maybe do well. But the main guy, I don't know if he would suit Star Wars. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm. What would you have him as, a Jedi?
Yeah, I mean, he would work as the role they were looking for in the open casting. It was like I can't remember what it was. It was like but basically a streetwise badass sort of thing. He would work as that. Maybe a wee bit too old for it. He's like what, 30, late 20s now.
Yeah. What was someone like I don't know, like Pete Campbell from Mad Men? Sort of greasy politician.
Do you know what? Actually, that's a shout. I can see that. Again, I don't know if he's maybe too. Like, if he was younger, he would maybe fit it. But I think he's kind of too old for the roles that he can play now.
Yeah. Or what about like Peter Dinklage as like Ewok or something?
Yeah. Do you know?
Or Yoda or R2D2. There's a lot of short
as Yoda. Or the ghost of Yoda.
Yeah, there's a lot of short people, isn't there?
I feel like Peter Dinklage has been shoehorned in everything these days. He's in
X-Men.
Is he in Guardians of the Galaxy as well?
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure about that.
Maybe not, maybe I'm talking pish.
Looking forward to Game of Thrones coming back though.
Oh yeah. What is it? 2 weeks?
Winter is coming.
That's a very, very good Jon Snow voice.
Yeah. He knows nothing, by the way.
What?
Oh, he didn't get it. He knows nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Oh yeah. Wasted on him, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'm pretty buzzing for that as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch with that in a podcast near the launch.
Yeah.
We'll try and get.
I was going to say we'll try and get a Game of Thrones expert on to help us cover it.
Yeah.
Maybe do like a wee spoiler cast the first episode or something. That'd be pretty cool. Hi everybody. Bit of bad news. We ran into some technical problems and we lost all of David's audio for the last part of the show. So no True Detective discussion for this week. We promise we'll have pretty much the same discussion next week. Maybe have someone else on to come in and talk about it. But we kind of mentioned it too prominently in the show earlier to fully take this bit out. So just now I just need to apologise and promise we'll come back to it next week and share our thoughts with you. And it just means we'll need to close the show early this week. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for listening. Thanks as well to everyone who came to see us at Newcastle Film and Comic Con over the weekend. Well, 2 weekends ago now. It was great meeting everybody. And I'll say the same for David. We loved getting to see everyone and get to interact with the fans a little bit. Thanks everyone for reading the site as well. We appreciate everyone who reads every article that we do, and we hope you enjoy them. As usual, you can follow TV and Film Review on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, if you just search TV and Film Review. You can also get us on YouTube, youtube.com/TV and Film Reviews with an S. Find us on iTunes if you search TVFR. We really need those iTunes subscriptions. That's what kind of makes podcasts legitimate. So if you're not listening to us there and you have access to iTunes, make sure you subscribe to us on that. And you can follow David and myself, David at David McGregor 84 on Twitter, and me at the Stew Dog on Twitter, STEW, not STU. So thanks again for listening, and apologies once again. Hope you join in with us next week. Bye bye.